Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Today is April 8th, and we have a couple of red folders at 8:30 that's going to affect the U.S. dollar jobs claims report. Those can move the market a little bit, so we're going to be careful with around 8:30 time with the U.S. dollar pairs. And at 12 o'clock, we have Fed Chairman Powell speaks. It's you never know what's going to happen with that. And then with the looks like that's the Chinese yuan, I think. We're not worried about that too much. So that's pretty much it for today on that one. And Forex Factory, April 8th. Doesn't say anything about the 8:30 jobs report, but we'll pay attention to that natural gas shortage storage. Thursdays are usually, oftentimes that's a natural gas or oil day, I guess you could say. Usually have some natural gas reports and things like that, which does move the market. That's more in the futures side of things, but the Canadian dollar does have an effect on some of that. Look at our heat map and see what our strong currency are right now. The Japanese yen is the strongest currency. We'll be looking at the yen against the British pound. And the yen against the pound and the dollar are the basically euro, pound, and dollar seems to be the weakest. I don't pay too much attention, only for pullbacks on the 5-minute. But right now, we're going to be trading to the strength of the yen and the weakness of the dollar, euro, and the British pound. So
I noticed the Canadian's starting to simmer down a little bit, eh?
What's that?
I said the Canadian's starting to simmer down.
Yes, it is. See, I'm not totally out of my drawdown with my gearbox, but it's in a real suitable place where it's living right now, and so
Yeah.
that's good. So a lot of these big moves that we had with the Canadian dollar, there's going to be a little bit of a reprieve from any drawdown that people are getting with those. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, we're happy up here too. We're getting a little bit concerned about inflation, and you know what happens when that's the deal.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, let's go ahead and switch over to the screen and see if anybody see anything that they want to be looking at before we get started. I'm not seeing any alerts. We have a couple Litecoin, Bitcoin alerts. I'm not a big fan on trading those with the alert system. I just haven't done it enough to feel comfortable with it. Let's see, we have a question here already. Let me see.
Yeah.
See, someone asking about the Hawkeye calculator. I've been in the resource video, share with me. I had to go to the public share, resource trading tools, clicked on the, and it's view only, pop-up window asking to message the owner. So basically what Daniela, what you're saying is that when you went to the resource, you could get it. Did you download it? If you did you do the download on it? If you did the download and it's not working, I need to know about that, because it doesn't do anybody good if you can't maneuver it. So double check on that. Let me get back with me on that one, if you would, please. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep that one in the open box just so I don't forget. Did download and still read only. Okay, I will check that out and see. What you can do is email me at trademasters, that's trade with a TRAIDE masters @gmail, and I will send it to you. I'll just send you the link. Anybody else who's having problems with that, just email me at trademasters @gmail. And again, that's TRAIDE
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. And it's not a misspelling. It's just what we needed to do in order to get it connected to a website. But that was kind of intentional with it. We did not intentionally misspell it. We did that because we are AI based. And so we thought it would be appropriate that way. So if you think we misspelled it, we didn't. although it may be misspelled. So anyway, enough of that. So yeah, just just send me an email if you were having problems getting that. Just uh, email me at that, and I will see if I can get it to you that way. And I'll talk to Bill and find out. There is a way of doing it with the Google Sheets and Google Doc. That's a little bit beyond my pay grade with the technicals, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get that to you guys. And let's see, what else do we have here? Let's take a look at some of the currencies that we actually had earlier. We had one, let's see, looking at my little chart here, what we had, S&P, a lot of, there's a Euro US. Let's take a look at the Euro US. They were both kind of playing around with each other. This looks almost like a bank induction here. This might be Euro to the US, and the Euro is stronger than the US.
Yeah, I was looking at this one too, Al. Looking
Yeah,
for
this
a
was looking
candle.
like this was not looking too bad actually.
Looking for an arrow right now. It's a little. We can't see your chart, by the way, Al. We're
I
still in
meant to
your
do
heat
that.
map.
Yeah, that's because I didn't switch. I didn't click the
He's
button.
hoarding his charts.
Yeah, I do that. I'm just such a. There, is that better? There, we should be able to see that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Right now we have this arrow. I would have liked if it would have touched the green, but the fact that it had a nice strong candle down, small little wick right down into it, came back out and bounced right out. So I would look at that as being a bank conduction move right there.
What's funny though, Al, is that as you came over, at least for me, that new resistance zone popped up, and we're only 10 pips to it.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing that I started doing, in fact, I think you and I talked about this on Monday or Tuesday when you were here, that I'm starting to look at higher lot sizes, shorter stops, shorter targets.
Yeah, I was talking to Matt about that. I'm doing the same thing, Al.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of problems. We've got these alerts, and they're in a very tight range. This is where that heat map comes into play. Is that again? I still like to see at least 15 pips because that's basically I trade in 7, 14, and 21 pip increments. So 15 pips is 2/3 of the 21, or 14 pips basically is 2/3 of the 21 moves, and I'd go for 7 pips out of that. So I'm just trying to catch that 1/3 of a 3/3 of a move, and most of these things move in 21 pip increments. I'm just trying to grab 7 of it. So I like to see at least 15 pips, but I also want to see the heat map being in the direction. Right now, the Euro US is not strong enough between the two of them for me to take that trade, so I'm going to pass on it. It's nice if I have the 20 pips. If I don't get it, I may back down to a tighter stop and a smaller target. And we've been doing pretty well with just going for that 5 or 7 pips with a higher lot size. It's been working out pretty well, especially when by the time we get to the market the London session is still one of the main sessions to be trading these things, but I'm not up at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. So in order to compensate for that, for these tighter ranges, I'm looking for just higher lot size, tighter stops, smaller targets. It all comes out in the wash at the end.
Right.
And you'll find out you're not in the trade as long either way. But let's take a look and see what the direction of this one is. So right now we're in an uptrend. We have a down arrow with an uptrend. We bounced off of a moving average, the 200 moving average, which is still kind of pointing up. This is actually not too bad of a trade. In fact, I think I'm going to take a shot at this one. Put a buy in there. I'm going to change this. I'm going to use a 15 pip stop. That's going to be 150 over here on the left. I'm looking at 70, which is a 7 pip target. Click the blue one, click the red one, put it into the stop and the take profit, then click the blue lines, and there's my target. And we'll see what happens with this. The euro is a little bit stronger on the lower time frames, so might be able to get that 5 pips out of this thing. We'll take a look at that, and let's see what else do we have. Euro, New Zealand. New Zealand, that was actually probably a better situation. Let's take a look at that one. the euro, New Zealand. Again, strong move down right into the zone. No arrows on this one. The arrow is way back here. This is way, make sure I'm on the right time frame, 15-minute time frame. Here's our bounce arrow go. This is where the arrow was. Now this would have been a contra trend trade overnight. We have our money zone. It was over. This was yesterday's money zone. We're going to move this over here to today's money zone. Let me move this back to it. There. And this was the overnight session. We had, you can see where from the overnight session, here's where the candles were. It entered into the money zone, got the strong the candle broke out from the top of the money zone, and it launched on up. This was a nice little move last night. Let's see what this would have been that's a 113 pips. And that's the kind of moves you can, a lot of times you'll get those in the middle of the night. This was, if you look at the time frame on this, where that arrow was, where was that arrow? It was right about there. That was at, this looked like at 4:30 minus 7. That would have been at for probably about 10 o'clock. About 10 o'clock last night, I guess, is when that one started.
9:30.
Or no, that's wrong. That's wrong.
9:30.
Actually, that would have been 9. That was in the evening. Yeah, that was 9:30 in the evening last night. That was actually, I was wrong about this. This is where the money's. Here's the day break. This is today's money. So I was in the wrong one. And so this way, and here was where the low was. Hit the money zone, broke down, and right now it's trading inside this range. We'll stay away from that a little bit right now.
We got a question.
There's really nothing there for us. Yes, question.
Do you ever trade bull flags with the software as he's seeing one on, or he or she is seeing one on the US 100 on the M5?
Let's see, US 100. That'd be the text that the NASDAQ, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here.
You're over here in the yep, right in the middle. Right by the SPX.
Here we go. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Bull flags. Yeah, I do. That's pretty much what I look at as, what I look at as far as the Fibonacci move, where you have the strong move up, have the pull back. Here's your flag right in here. And a lot of times when that, let's see, let's just check the direction of this thing first though. We are in a uptrend. We can put the arrow in, arrow up, mark the zone. Make sure we're on a 5-minute chart because that's what we trade the indexes on. It's right up in the zone. So let's back this off a little bit. And I was reading an article last night, and there's still a lot of sentiment that this market's still going to go way up for still a while, which with all the printing and everything, so that's our trade starting to work out here a little bit. And we could still be looking at still explosion to the upside for at least a little while still.
Hey, Al.
Yes.
Take a look at, we just had an alert, the Swiss yen on the 15-minute.
Okay, we'll get back to this bull flag here. Swiss yen. Swiss yen, that should be over. Where was it? Where'd it go? Swiss yen, here it is. Ooh. And Swiss is Swiss yen. This is interesting. Here's our entrance. We are in looks like we're in a downtrend with a down arrow. Or are we? No, we're in an up.
No,
we're still an uptrend. Look, here's where my arrows were last time. It's made some new highs on this. So this one would be, gotta move this one all the way over here. So it built a few more green zones from the last time I looked at that or marked it. And
I was looking at it as a counter trend, but we're not at 8 o'clock yet.
Yeah, it still might. And Let's see, what's the distance on this one here? We have a 14 pips. It's still less than the 20 pips that we'd be looking at, but is there enough room to take this thing? Can we get 5 pips out? Could we get 5 pips out of this thing? Swiss yen. Swiss is, I think I'm gonna pass on this one.
Yeah, they're both pretty strong.
Yeah, they're both pretty strong. The yen is still stronger than the Swiss, which would be to our advantage to the downside. But I would go to a 5-minute chart on this one and see if there's anything there that's going to stand away. You'll see right now there's a little zone right here. And this is probably where it's starting to give up some of its steam. And that's probably only a couple pips, I'm going to guess. It's only 5 pips. So if that green zone weren't there, I would probably jump on that in a heartbeat. But right now it's too close. And that's the other thing that I will do when I try to tighten up my stop. I'll go to the 5-minute chart and see if there's still the room on the 5-minute. In this case, there really isn't. So, but that was US, and so let's go back to the US 30. So keep an eye on our trade. I keep forgetting to look over that, but they have it right over here. When you're in a trade, you have it all right over here on the side, so you can keep an eye on it when you're looking at other charts. Let's go back to US 30.
James has also mentioned that there's a potential wedge breakout downtrend on the Aussie New Zealand on the 15-minute.
Aussie New Zealand 15. Aussie New Zealand. Where'd it go? Aussie. Oops.
That's an ugly chart right there.
What, the Aussie New Zealand?
Yeah.
I gotta find mine first here.
Yeah, you see it there, Al.
That's Aussie US. I got 2 Aussie US's. Why do I have that?
You've got 2 pound New Zealands.
Well, might have been a long day yesterday.
It could have been.
Pound Swiss.
By the way, I heard from Nate that we're gonna fingers crossed have an update to the dashboard this weekend that will fix some of the issues with it not giving us all the signals. So hopefully we're in a better place with dashboard next week.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to be loading mine up this week, and I got a hold of support, and they'll get my new VPS loaded up here. I'm almost at my 5 pip target here on this one.
Nice.
4, 2.
I stepped away. What made you get into that one, Al?
I like the momentum. I had room I had 12 pips, I think. It was a down arrow, and I had the strength of the currencies were on the right side. So,
got it.
As soon as this thing gets to, if it's right now it's bouncing between 3 and 4, and I have to pull up my pound New Zealand. What was the other chart we're looking at? Aussie New Zealand.
Aussie New Zealand. I don't really see much there, but take a look at it.
I gotta pull it out. Aussie New Zealand.
It's right in the for me. It's right in the middle of a green zone.
Yeah, me too.
There's big wicks and zones all over the place.
And it's right between the 2 moving averages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aussie. Let me pull this up here. Open it up. For some reason I didn't have it on my chart. Go to 15-minute chart. Oh yeah, that's ugly.
So James was saying that it looks like it wants to break out of the wedge.
Right now it's just going sideways on a 15-minute chart. It's just going sideways right here. There's really not much of a wedge to. When I look for a wedge, I want to see a strong move up, and then a little bit of a wedge right here at the top before I look for a breakout or a continuation. But right now I'd be looking for a strong move, and we're not really getting that right now. It's just still range bound. That would be.
It has nowhere to go too.
I mean, there are wedges all over the place, but there's nothing that I would say is tradable because it's just trade. The wedges are inside of a range, are pretty much inside this range. So I would not view that as I would not put it in the same criteria. And so 15-minute Aussie New Zealand, and we'll reset this. If this thing's still kind of fighting. Let's take a look at this one again. Euro US. See if this thing's giving us any reason to get out of the trade. It came nice little poke up there. It couldn't quite make my target. Got within 5 pips. I've got a 7 pip target. It came within 4.5 pips of it. And it's bounced. It's looking right at this little area right in here. It's having, here's a little doji. Basically, here's a strong move up, came back down. Here's a doji. And my target is just inside the top of that wick. And you can see where it's now looking like it's may have a little bit of trouble to the downside or to the upside. Here's a peak. There's anchor. Here's the hit. Drop it down. Now my target is right at this wedge. You can see it. Now if this thing can come up, as this thing comes over, this wedge is getting lower. So I may have to just back this off just a little bit just to keep it inside. The next push up, I should be able to get something in there. I'm just going to back it off just a little bit. And that way, hopefully if it comes up, it takes another run up, it'll come up to, if it tags the trend line, my target is just a little bit below the trend line. So if it comes up and reverses on me, we do have this zone right here. So I'm not expecting it to penetrate real far up in there, but it should be enough to trigger my target. This is the point where we're going to have to be looking at. If it comes up, breaks the wedge, it could come up. If it pulls this away, pulls back, then goes up higher, we will be in for a nice little run. But also the other thing is we have a nice little base down here. It could come up, come back down, retest the trend line or the moving average. And it could just keep going back and forth, making lower highs and higher lows. So we'll keep an eye on this one, see if we can get my target out of there.
Al,
Swiss, yes.
if you've got a moment, Kaspar is asking if you could have a look at the pound yen. He's in a buy, and I just asked him if which time frame, but he says, should I take my losses or what?
Okay, we'll take a pound yen. Right now, you're in a buy with the pound yen, so
Yeah.
that would be you're being long with the pound yen. The yen is stronger. Actually, I would hold off on it right now. We'll come back to it right now. I think you're okay. The pound is starting to get stronger again to the yen, so they're going to be fighting it a little bit where they are right now. So hang tight with it. We'll get back with it. Right now, I'm going to check out this CAD Swiss. We have CAD Swiss trade here, looking at see if it's tradable. Zoom into that.
That's an older alert, Al.
That one is?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it is? Okay, let me
Pull
pull it
your
up here.
bar up. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right, let's go to, keep an eye on my trade here too. Back up to that.
And Juan is saying, don't forget the NAS 100.
The NAS 100. Oh, everybody's got all kinds of things looking at. All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, I know.
Let's take a quick back look at the DAS 100 real quick, and then we'll come back to
There's the bullish flag, and also look at the 4 hour for a bird's eye view.
This one is, this is one where we're looking at, we're in an uptrend, strong move up, formed a zone, pulling back. Right now, it's pulling back into the 62% run. This is a nice little wick candle down here. It's on a 5-minute chart.
I would just comment with any of the U.S. indexes right now with the news coming out at 8:30 a.m. and the market not being open yet. It's a pretty risky trade right now.
Yeah, be careful with it.
Great.
I do like this is a nice little, we have this little doji up here, and it did get, the candle got broke, the top of the candle got broken, but it did make a new high. It did close with a high. Here's a nice little pullback. This could be a tradable trade. I'd be looking at, let's see where we at with this is the NASDAQ, And so we do have news coming out another half an hour. This might be a pre-news move here right now. I'd say this is tradable. I'm not going to take it because I'm just not going to do it. But this would be a tradable trade, but I would be looking at a 5-minute chart on this one. We have the nice little wick. And I would say that if it could come back and so we have a trend coming over this direction. If it breaks that trend line, if it can break the trend line and then come back and retest it, then you can take it long, and you would have a little bit of room to the upside. Let's say if it broke it right here, take it up to the zone. You're looking at 735 to where, yeah, you've got $12 move. Go for $5, you could probably be okay. What was the other one? Pound yen. We were still trying to get to that pound yen.
Mhm.
Pound yen.
Pound yen we might have a bag entry.
Yeah, this might
Later.
be to the upside. So, and the yen is still the strongest, so it still has downward pressure. We do have, I like this part. We have strong move down. Here's the left leg of the W. Here's the middle of the W. Here's the right leg of the W. We have a low.
Al, you should go to the 15. You should go to the 15-minute for this, though.
Thank you. You can see a little bit easier on the 5-minute, but yeah. So right now, but everything's still moving down. I bet this is in a downtrend. No, it's in an uptrend.
Yeah, he's in a buy.
Yeah, so I think you're going to be okay. Hang in there with it. It's
actually that W, the second leg is it's a higher low.
Let's see, arrow up. Let's mark this down here, and let's move this over.
Yeah, this is the most interesting chart, forex chart I've seen this morning. This could
This could be a
move
nice
up.
little move. Yeah, this could be a nice little move here. Let's move this over to the 8 o'clock. Okay, we are in an uptrend. Let's scroll out of this.
I'm curious, Kaspar, when did you get into this one? If you could put it in the Q&A, please.
I can see where here's the overnight high. Now this would have been a little bit of a fake out. We had here's the day break. Here's the overnight high and low. Bring it to the bodies of the candle. And we do the same thing again on the other side, right there. And then here's the money zone. And then this was a head fake. So this one would not have worked out so well with this looking to the upside. We are in a down, but you need to be we were in uptrend too. That's surprising. Yeah, this one wouldn't have worked out, but it did break out the bottom now. But we are in an uptrend. I like this as here's the first leg, here's a W. But a thing that we have to be careful is that this is moving down. This is moving down. All the moving averages are moving to the downside, even though we're in an uptrend. So this is a fairly strong pullback. The yen is still strong. British pound is still weak, but we do have this little bounce right here, and we just got a zone, just like right now.
And now the other thing is that the 5-minute is in a major downtrend where the 15, so the 15 and the 5 are opposite right now trend.
Yeah. I do like the fact it looks like it may bounce, but
you just got that zone, that red zone in there that just popped up on the 15.
Yeah, that one just popped up. You do have 36 pips to the zone. So if we get an up arrow, we can take that. I'm going to...
Yeah, the 15 just got a little messier though, Al. There's a resistance zone in the middle of the W now on the 15-minute.
Yeah, here's what I don't like is that I don't like the fact that we have an up arrow with all these moving averages are moving down and they haven't come close. They kind of came close to crossing here. We could be looking into a trend change. If we're on the 5-minute chart, if I zoom into the 5-minute chart, you're going to see we are in a downtrend on the 5-minute, a strong downtrend on the 5-minute. Higher time frame, we're in an uptrend. Lower time frame, we're in a downtrend. So we basically have opposing forces here. There we go. I'm going to mark this. If we can get a bounce off of this zone with an up arrow, I would be all over that because you have the higher time frame in your favor, but also you've got enough room to this zone to be able to take that trade. So, but I would not be going for a whole lot because you have these. My target would probably be it would have to be the zone, but you're probably going to get some heat off that arrow moving average.
He got in on the London session, so
London.
it sounds to me like he's in a fair bit of drawdown right now.
Oh, so let's see how much drawdown are you and how many pips are you in drawdown?
I have a question for you in the meantime while we wait for him to answer.
Okay.
Wilson is asking, is there a way to know if there's going to be a head fake example like the pair that you're just looking at that you just mentioned?
On the same chart?
Well, he's talking in general, like how
In
do you
general?
know something's going to be a head fake like you had just
Well,
mentioned?
you never know for sure. Let me see if I can, let's take a look at this Aussie New Zealand. Maybe they'll find something I can maybe answer that question. Where's my Aussie New Zealand?
Garvin's also saying that the pound pairs have been trending down for the last 3 days.
The New Zealand is still relatively strong. Aussie is relatively strong. Aussie's kind of in the middle. This would be still favoring the downside, the downtrend here. Oh, I did. Looks like I got my target on that one. Looks like I'm out of that trade. Either I got stopped out. Nope, made the profit. Okay, good. That trade's done. That one's in the bag. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart. We're looking at a downtrend. It's coming through this area right in here. Let's look at the Aussie New Zealand. Let's see, we are in a downtrend. We're in a downtrend right here. Move it up a little bit. There's the zone. Scale out a little. And the New Zealand is strong on 3 time frames to the Aussie. So that if it can break out of this, could be good for a possible trade. We're in a downtrend. It's got to break through this little zone. We had the alert.
How much room is there, Al, between the two zones?
That's a good question. We're going to find that out in just right now. From here to here. Ooh, 3 pips. Ooh, yeah. That's not good. No, that's not good. Let's see what it looks like on the 15-minute chart or 5-minute. Yeah, we got 2. It's actually, we were talking about, someone was mentioning about a flag pattern earlier. We are in a downtrend. I'm on my 5-minute chart, but here's where the origin of this down move would be. Here's a little pullback. You see that here's the strong move down, pulled back, and it broke the bottom of this. I'll move down, pulled back. Now this thing could still come back up and retest this little wedge here. Problem is we have this zone right down here, and it's only a couple pips away, so that's just not tradable.
Hey, Al?
Yes.
You guys have had a little success lately with the German 30, right?
Yes, we have.
Go take a look at the 5-minute for the German 30.
All right, let's see. German 30, where is there? You are hiding right there. 5 minutes, boom. Uptrend, according to this, right off the top of my head. Yep, we are in an uptrend, up arrow.
No, we don't have an arrow yet, but I'm kind of, it's above the candles are above the arrow moving average right now.
Yeah. I was referring to the zone. We are in an uptrend, so I put my up arrow there for that. That was the arrow I was talking about. But yeah,
no, I know. Yep. Right.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying
we don't want to confuse the folks.
Yet, but,
we don't want to confuse the folks.
Yep.
All right, so here's just forming another little up thing there. Let's go to the German 30. Now, I said with these indexes, we usually stay on the 5-minute chart. We don't have a arrow though. Yeah, I have to wait for an arrow. That's one of the keys for these indexes is go ahead and wait for the arrow.
Right. I'm watching it. I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah.
We might get an arrow in the next candle or two. Yep.
Yeah. Let me check my charts to make sure I'm on the right time frame for everything here. keep getting distracted. That's going to be 5 minute. We keep that one on the 5 minute. Put that in the bottom part. And 15, 15, 15. Retile. Yes, if everything works out this weekend, I will have the new platform up and running on mine. I just didn't get wasn't able to get it loaded up before the week started. And I was waiting for the next alert. Let's take a look at that British yen again, see how that one's doing.
Plus, Judson's asking if we can look at the 1 hour Euro Oz when we have a moment.
Euro, Aussie, Euro, Aussie. Euro should be weak, Aussie's stronger. Euro, Aussie looking to go to the downside. Euro, Aussie.
You're down at the bottom, Al. It's one of the ones that's minimized in the middle. Right there, right? But yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
We're looking at the strength to the.
And he said the 1 hour.
1 hour, yeah.
1 hour. Oh, got a swing trader here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Doesn't look too bad. Just off the top of my head here. We have, although we are in an uptrend, but we did have a nice little. It is kind of ranging inside this range to have a bounce off the zone in an uptrend, or we are in a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I say basically it's in kind of what I call a weak uptrend. This looks like it's kind of going sideways in between these two. It is building up some new zones here. So it is getting a little bit stronger to the. I'm going to go with the up arrow on this one here. Pull back. Let's see. Look at this one on the 1 hour. We did get the bounce. We got a break. Here's a. Looks like it's breaking the trend line here. Here's the low. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. And we're going to readjust this to probably. I only like to see one breach of a trend line. I'm going to go with these 3 points from this point, this red bottom of this red candle right here. This is where its origin came back down and retested it. So I'll let this one be. This would be kind of like where the trap would be if you were talking about traps. This was a breach. I'll accept one breach. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. Here's the trend line. Here's a bounce. He came right down to trend line and bounced up. So right now we have a down arrow. It's contra trend, but we are in the 8 o'clock zone, so we can do that. If it breaks the trend line, I'm looking for a break of the trend line, comes back up, retest this area right in here. If it can break, if we can get a close below this wick right here where it bounced, where this trend line was rejected. If we can get a break up here, so right now here's a strong move down, came back, short retrace. If it could, and this would be the target would be the moving average on this.
Hey, Al,
Yes.
I would just say though, for the counter trend, I don't think that's a valid arrow trade on the 1 hour chart, because that's a swing trade.
That's true. Yeah, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
That would be a whole different ball game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is any way you look at it. While the trend going against trend, I don't think it's a valid arrow trade per se, just because it's on the 1 hour. I don't know what the 15-minute looks like, but
I would be careful with this zone right in here, right where this. If you see where it came up, it paused, and this is the origin of this strong up move. You go back to the origin of the move, and then you put your zones in a little bit with. So here's strong move up, based, moved up again. The basing is right here, right in this area. That's the basing. If it comes back down, this could be your trap. Now the question is, with this trap, this is where I would consider to be a trap. It breaks the trend line, comes back down, say, oh, this thing's going down lower, and then all it does, it hits this little zone right here and reverses, comes back up. If it can come back down and pull back, and then we might have some room. Now the question is, do you have enough room? If it breaks the trend line, is there enough room to get some profit? Can I get 7 pips profit. If it breaks, comes back, tests this, comes back up, and then try and get the, because this is the other target right here, where your 100, your 200 moving average. If it breaks through here, it could have some problem getting through this area. The question is, would you have enough room? Measure this out from the break. If it breaks, that's 40 pips. You could certainly probably get 5 pips out of it. Right here to the top of the zone, that's 11 pips. You could probably get, if this thing breaks this trend line, comes back up and retests, I'll go for 5 or 10 pips off of this move. Maybe using this for the higher target, but I would, you can use a fairly tight stop. I would probably put my stop somewhere above this moving average, the arrow moving average. Probably like to have it up above this strong candle. Strong move down, comes back up. And let's just see how much of retracement we may get on this one. Here's the origin. Let's see. Let's say take it right from about here to here. See how far, see if this thing can bounce and retrace up into the 38% or 50%. If we can get a retracement up here and then a break, then we could come down here to this target, and we're back into this. You can see where the bulk of this are right in this, between this blue zone here. I still like this. If it comes back down, it probably, if this zone can hold, then we're going to have a nice move to the upside, which would help get back into the same direction of the strength of the trend. We'll keep an eye on that one. Euro Aussie. Let's take a look at, oh, that's where we are. Euro Aussie. That's on 1 hour. Let's go back to a 15 minutes, see what it looks like on a 15-minute. Same picture. Maybe I'll move this. And this is the, where's my Fibonacci line here? I'll move it right to this peak here on the 15-minute. It did break this 200 moving average, came back down, tested the zone, came back up, retraced. Now this is a 38% retracement. If this thing breaks, it's probably, I'd be looking at, this thing may be a good trade actually. Euro is, Aussie is strong. Aussie's getting stronger. So yeah, if this thing can break this trend line, I'll go for 5 or so pips on this one. Get my pip calculator out. Just I'll get this in. And we're going to look over. Oops. Got to do something here. Now maybe I can do it. Here's my pip calculator. So we can see what we're doing here. And we are in the Euro Aussie. So I'm going to click this upward, drop the arrow down, look for the Euro Aussie. Here's Euro Aussie. Look for a, now take again, I'm going to make another note of this. We got my account's $4,800 account, 2%, I'm going to be risking $96 with 15 pips. Now, if I go and change this to say a 40 pip stop, which is what we generally use, take a look at the lot size. When I click the button, you're going to see this lot size is going to decrease significantly. Went down from a 0.9 to a 0.33. And that would be getting a 20 pip target. If I go to a 15 pip stop, I'm looking for a 7 pip target. I can take a 0.9 lot size, still the same risk. I'm still going to get the same profit margin, but I'm only going to be, I'll probably be in and out of this trade a lot faster. So with this Euro Aussie, I'm set up, I can do a 0.9. I come up here, there's a 0.9. And I'm all set up. If I decide to take this for 7 pips, I'll be all set. But I want to see it break this trend line first. I do like the fact we have a nice move down, have a nice little retrace. It is below this moving average. This one's still pointing down. And it did retrace 38%, but now if it, I want to see it break the trend line. We'll keep an eye on that one. CAD Swiss is another one that just popped up here.
Yeah.
Take a look at that and see if that one does anything for us. CAD Swiss.
I don't have an arrow for that.
You don't have one? Why do I have one
I've
here?
got one.
On the 15-minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming right up into the zone.
Huh. It's funny, I don't have an arrow on mine. It's weird.
Weird.
Hmm.
And we're both in envy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
You are on the 15-minute chart, right?
Now you're
Yeah.
using the dashboard. That may make a difference there that you're using the dashboard on that.
Yeah, but I opened up the chart, you know, and it
Still
looks just
doesn't.
like your chart, just doesn't have an arrow
It
there.
doesn't have an arrow. I'll be darned. That's weird. Well, we're in a downtrend, up arrow. This could be a
I don't know if you have enough room there, Al. Do you have enough?
yeah, I don't think there's enough room here. Let me we're in a downtrend. Well, it's kind of right at the zone. It's right at the zone. So yeah, there's not enough room. And you can just pretty much eyeball it here. You can see here's the arrow, and you have 2 pips. But this thing, we are in a downtrend. So let me change my arrow down. So we are in a downtrend. So this could be a nice little move if it comes up, gives it, test it. We do have a little trend line. Here's a high. Here's a lower high. You draw a trend line off of this from here. Anchor. Here's the hit. Comes up, retest the trend line. We have another trend coming down. We have a couple of factors on this one. Here's the strong move up, came back down, retested it. Here's the anchor, here's the hit. So right now this is the main wedge. We also have a secondary wedge coming up here. I'd want to see a break of this wedge. And if it breaks this, the further it goes into the major wedge, once it breaks here, the further it comes to the right, the more room you have to a target, which would be this one. And then that would be tradable from, I'll just say it came back down, retested the wedge here, broke it, retested it, came back up, retested it, and retest. That's only 8, that's only 8 pips. That'd be a little tight too. But if we get the break of this arrow moving average and get a retest of that, that would be probably give enough to take that trade. Let's take a look at that Euro Aussie, see how that one's doing. This one's not tradable right now. Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie. Where is my, oh, here it is. We do have this zone. We are at the trend line. I do like the fact that strong move down with a pullback like that right off of this. This could be one of those flag patterns where it'll be a continuation. Strong move down, pull back to 38%. And if it pulls back to 38% and can break, then the target would be right in this area. I'd be looking at my target zone being right about in here.
So you're looking at it as a counter trend trade?
This would be a counter trend trade. I'd like to see it. I'm a little concerned about this area right in here. Let's go to 5 minutes, see where we got. Maybe a little bit better picture on the 5 minute, or maybe worse. I'm not sure. Here's the target. If it can break through this, here's our target, and let's see how much room. If it breaks through this green zone here to the target, then you have 11. You have 11 to 16 pips into this zone. Take that Fibonacci off since I already marked my chart here. So if it breaks, this would be my target area right in here. And the Euro Aussie. We have strength to the Aussie on this. If this thing breaks, I'll be inclined to take this thing if it breaks. And this would be the target down in this area. We do have the moving averages are in our favor. And we have the trend line that needs to get broken. Again, this would be one that I would only be going, I wouldn't be going for 20 pips. I'd be going tightening my stop, but taking my bigger target. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. A lot of times it may be a 1 minute zone, but these zones can still bite you.
Hal?
Yes.
I'm trying to find your Hawkeye calculator in the back office. It's not very intuitive.
Yeah, it's not. Go to the resource tab. Then click on video. In fact, I'd like you to, if you can, Eva, do this procedure. Then when you I'll tell you how to go through the procedure. So you're in the back office, resources, video. Tell me when you're there.
I'm there.
Go up the upper, see where it says share with me or something like that,
Yeah.
and click on the share. Click on the share.
Okay, got it.
Scroll down till you find it, and then download it.
Okay.
It should be a download. There should be a download option on that.
I'm looking for. I don't see the calculator.
It should be all the way down near the bottom. There's a whole list of them. Should be near the bottom.
I've got Dominican Republic map being shared here. Now I can see.
Well, that'll be a big help today.
I don't see the calculator.
All right, let me take a look and see if I can.
It's just that people are asking, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna.
They kind of moved it on me, and I had to kind of find it. And it is a shared folder that's downloadable. What I'm a little perplexed with is that people aren't being able to open it after they download it, and you should be able to open it. And you know what? I bet I know what the problem is. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get to it. Let me get into my back office here.
Yeah. AP application I've got being shared with me.
Okay, let me see here. Let me pull this off. We're still waiting for this trade. Here's where we are right now. We're in the Auvoria Prime. Everybody see my screen?
Yes.
The Auvoria Prime back office resources. Click on the arrow. Scroll down here to it says video. And at the video, you'll see where it says share with me. Click on the share with me.
Okay.
Then you should be able to see the Hawkeye calculator right here.
Okay.
Right here. Click on that. And then right click and it says should be a download. Click on the download and you're gonna have to scroll. You'll see it's downloadable right here. And then you're going to open it. And when you open it, this pops up. And then up here it says where it says enable editing. If you click on enable editing, now you should be able to get the drop downs.
Okay.
And be able to change it. You want that to put it to 1,000, and then it changes. You have to make sure you have to enable the editing. That's probably, in fact, that's probably why Daniela, when you were trying to, let me know if that works for you, Daniela, if you're still here, because that was the key there. And then the nice thing about this is the original, and we have all these blocks, so you can change these. But if you go to another little arrow, make another sheet, you can put another. Just go. let's say you can track your gearbox or track your performance and have a balance. So you can have a balance, say over here on this sheet, and let's just say we have a balance of $4,500 in there, and this is sheet A1. Come over to the calculator, come over to click on this, go with a plus, put a plus sign in there, come over to your let's see, sheet 1, click on that, enter it, and then you'll find out there's 4,500. Now, if you change this, sheet 1, you can change it to, well, let's just say you change it to 2,000. Come back over to your calculator, click on that, put that in the cell, come over to the calculator, and now you've got 2,000 in here. So if you have if you're tracking other performance and you have an account balance, you can automatically just tie that account balance to that cell, and and that way you'll know exactly where you're at all the time.
Hey, Al.
Yes.
Not to be a bearer of bad news. I don't, the share with me, that's only if it's actually been shared. So it was shared with you, but I don't think for anyone that it wasn't shared with that they're going to see it that way. Like I just did it, and I use Google Drive for my other business. So I see when I go to share with me from Auvoria Prime, I'm just seeing all the files historically that have been shared with me in my Google Drive.
I'm the same. I'm
Yeah,
exactly the same.
I don't think that the majority of the people are going to see Hawkeye calculator from that.
All right. Well, that will be a problem.
That path.
All right. Let's try something else. How about share public? See if that's see if it pops up with the share public.
So you want to go to resources and videos still?
Resources, videos, and then there's a share public share. Let's see if it's in there.
See, I don't even get the public share.
Oh, you don't get the public share?
No.
Maybe have me.
I get only, maybe that's why I saw the map of Dominican because it was my own.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna have to check with Bill and find out about that.
Yeah, it's
yeah, some of the things work for me because it had me give me access to some of this stuff, and then I never know for sure if it's going to work. Okay, well that's good to know that.
Yeah.
Here's so that Euro Aussie trade. Remember we were saying about the Euro Aussie trade about bouncing off, and now we see. Aren't we glad we respected? Now this is all in a 1 minute, but look at this one little tiny little minute zone. Look how it respected that trend line. So again, that's one reason why you still have to, even though it may be on a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute chart, you still have to respect these zones, especially if the currencies are significantly stronger. A lot of times we'll just plow right through those zones, but they were iffy enough to where it wasn't worth taking that shot. And you can see, like right now, there's we got something else, Euro US. Anyway,
yeah, I feel bad. I just got 200 pips in about 40, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes on Ethereum. Just take a quick look at the Ethereum M5. When we were talking there, I should have said something, but it's a counter trend Ethereum thing.
So, and you took it long?
Yeah, go to the M5 though. You're on the M15.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm already out.
Yep. And how much was that one on a 1/10 contract? Was that $1 a pip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still going too.
Yep. All right. Let's well, hindsight 2020 is always hindsight is always 2020.
I decided not to say anything only because it's counter right now. The M5 is actually downtrend. So that's why.
Let's take a look at the Euro US. We're getting better and getting more aggressive with some of these cryptos. I'm still kind of focused primarily on these. Let's see this 1 minute. We put this to a 5 minute, and tile Euro US. Euro US. Here we go. Oh, okay. We have a uptrend, up arrow. We have a down sloping trend line. Let's see if this one's going to be tradable. Arrow up, with the up arrow, uptrend, bounced off the 200 moving average. We still have the arrow moving averages curling around here. And let's zoom out. We are in green and green. We do have this trend line, which we have to be respectful of. Here's the target. I don't know, there's enough room here. Here's the target. We have the trend. This could be again, this zone right here, we have the anchor. Here's the first hit. And usually from the top of the first hit to the trend line is what I consider to be the trap. So if it breaks the trend line on this candle right here, then I'd be looking at this is kind of how I view traps. I like seeing the traps where on the first hit of the trend line, which is basically where here's the anchor, first hit, we have the trend line. If it breaks this is where the trap is, right in here, this little area. Now let's see if we have it. So that's where we have an up arrow. See how much room we have basically to the trap. We have 11, 12, not bad. Let's see, and then the Euro US, looking at the heat map, here's where the Euro is. Euro's in the middle. Euro and the US are weak. Euro and the US are weak. Euro and the US are weak. I'm not taking that trade. It may work out, but I'm not going to take it. There's not enough spread between the Euro and the US. Right now they're fighting for last place. The Euro may start getting stronger, and if it is barely a little bit stronger, which would be to the upside. And we'll just have to, here we go. You can see we're actually, here the bottom two, bottom two, bottom two. So right now they're saying they're both weak. One's fighting the other one. Right now the Euro is on the 5-minute chart. The Euro is starting to gain some strength. The US is still flatlined. It was flatlined all along here, pulled back, came back flatlined. And I'd like to see this thing being pointing up, get this thing a little bit stronger. If this thing gets stronger, we may have enough room for a trade. But I'd like to see it kind of break this trend line first. If it breaks the trend line, do we have 5 pips? Go to a 5-minute chart and see where we're at with the 5-minute chart. I have to use this for a target. And it looks like we may have, this one probably would have worked. This one probably would work out okay. It's maybe too late though. Here's where the arrow was. There's your 7 pips right to the trend line.
Bitcoin and S&P 500.
This one is where a lot of times if you get the arrow and you're a little bit and you're trying to go for those smaller pips, go to the next lower time frame and see if there's room. Mark the arrow on the 5-minute, but see where it is on the 15. Here is the alert on the 15 minute. But see, it's still having a hard time making this, breaking through that. This is a little bit of a fractal. Now you pretty much have a double top right here. And it wasn't able to break the bodies of these candles. Came right up. It worked right up. So it may give us another opportunity, but as these candles march across the side here, the target is getting lower and lower and lower, which gets squeezed and squeezed. If it breaks, if it breaks the trend line at a lower spot, then you might have room to the upside. But here's your trend. Strong move up, came back, pulled back. I just don't know. Is it an uptrend? We're on I mean, these Fibonacci's, I wouldn't do a Fibonacci anything less than a 15-minute chart. Came back down to 62% retracement, came back up, but it's hitting a double top right here. So it's got and if it breaks, we could possibly, with this 62% pullback, it could come on up to retest. You could maybe use this for a target. 62% retracement, which should be right here. Make this one green. It's got to break the trend line. Then you have to be careful. This one's just too. There's no reason to take a iffy trade. It's too close. Not that I don't like it that well to take it. May work, but I don't know. Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin did here. Bitcoin has been very good to me lately.
For you.
What's that?
I've got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
I'm done looking at the Bitcoin.
What do we have for, let's see. Well, let me check the chat box here. Yeah, Danielle, the heat map is, we're working on it. We're working real hard on getting that done. We have to clear through TradingView. It's only going to work on TradingView, the heat map. It's going to be called the RCS tool. Actually, it's going to be, when we make it available, it's going to be called Hercules in TradingView. All I can say is send me an email at the Trademasters at Gmail, and we'll put you on the list. And when it becomes available, we'll send an email out to everybody that's interested and show you how to get it. And let's see what else. Yeah, Bitcoin is coming back up again here. Looks like it's got some strength to the upside. I don't know how to get into it right now. Let's get on a 15-minute chart here. This would be the target for, this could be a possible target, potential target. And I like this trend line using this top. This is where the 58, this is where it was yesterday. It's breaking the trend line. This may be a nice little move up. Bank induction came back up, retest. We have another lower trend line right here, and it's breaking through. Here's the lower trend line. Here's the anchor, here's the hit, here's the retest, here's the breakout. And we have all this coming up. It retested the 200 moving average, was rejected. Now if we can get a close, I said we can get a close above this line right here. If we get a close above that, I might take it long and look for this for the target. This might be a longer play. We do have some, we may have a little bit of resistance right in this area right here. Right around this part, that'd be around the 58, 50, 57, 853. That's still, let's see, where is that? If it breaks at 273, that's a long way up there. That's 500 points, $500. Then we decided that what a 0.1 lot size was $1 for every 10. So a $500 move would be a 50-point move. And that would be About $50 on a 1/10 of a contract. Keep an eye on that one. There's 15 minutes. Let's go look at the 5-minute chart and see where the pullback may be. We had the break, closed above. It didn't close above this one, so it hasn't broken, didn't break through this zone. Strong move up, still showing some strength. Pulled back to the trend line. You see this little candle right here, pulled back to the trend line, couldn't even get back to the trend line. So I'm going to put a buy stop right at the breakout point of, I'm going to take it right about to here at 57,346. So I'm going to go to my trade, new order. I want a buy pending order. I want a buy stop. That means if it comes up there, and it'll get me in on the up move. If it doesn't get up there at 57,346, 7,346, and we're going to place that. And if it comes up to, if it gets me in there, then I'm going to be looking at a 50, what did I say here? You could be looking at 58,385, I'm going to say. So here's my pending order again. Come back, modify it. And I'm going to put a target. Let's see. Actually, I may not be able to do that right now. I'll wait till it gets in there. Then I'll do it. Pending order. Buy limit. Take profit. 57. 58,385. 58,385. My take profit. My stop, I'll probably put the stop. I'll use 57,246. 56,246. 56,246 for my stop. Pending order. I didn't like that. Okay, what did I do? I'm just going to delete and put it in again. I'll try it again. Go right click, trade, new order, market. We're going to go pending order. And we're going to take, I'm going to take a 0.1, 0.1. I'm going to take a $1, a 0.1 lot size. Stop is going to be 56,246, 56,246. Take profit, 58,385. Buy limit, we're going to do a buy stop. And we're going to do that at 57,346. Place the order. Boom. There, now we're all set. Here's my stop. My target is up here behind these lines. If it comes up and plows through here, this is would be my target. And I'm going to be looking over here at the 5-minute chart and just see, scrunch this up a little bit. We may cut that target a little bit short. I would probably put it right about there. That would be the first, where I would expect the first bounce. We had a bounce right here, strong move down. Here's where it came down, came up, tested, and then it never looked back from here. But I'm not going to be in this trade until it gets on the other side of this red zone. And if we can break through that, then I could probably start moving my stop up a little bit tighter even. And we have a cat Swiss alert. Let's take a look at that while we're waiting for this one to trigger. Cat Swiss. We have a sell on the cat Swiss. Ooh, looks like it's trying to break through this trend line. Strong move down, breakthrough. A drop, base, drop. This one may be a possibility. Are we on the 15-minute chart? And we have room to the downside off of this. It's only 7 pips, 8 pips to the downside. Not enough. Need 15. See what? Take a look at my 5-minute chart. See what we have there. Maybe better. Let's see. Still the same spot. If it comes right here, look over here left, see where the strong move up. This is the origin. I will put a line right here at the top of this body there. This would be my target. If I can get in, and have five pips to that, or 7 pips to that, preferably 7, because I need those 2 for the spread. Tweak the lines. This area right here could have been that trap we talked about. Breaks the line, but there's a little. It's got to get through the wick. This is the trap zone. And it looks like I'm in the Bitcoin. Let's go back to my Bitcoin chart. Ooh, look at that. All right, we're in the trade. Remember, this is the first place where I might be looking at a bounce here. We'll watch this one for a little bit. And I'm going to look at the 1-minute chart and just see if it keeps on making higher highs and higher lows. Right now, it's just trending. It broke through this area right here, is making a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right now, as long as it keeps making higher highs and higher lows on the 1 minute, I'm just going to stay in this thing. I can actually probably trail it. Move my trailing stop. And keep it all the way down to right here where it broke out. Here's where the breakout was. I don't want to move my stop too close because I want to give it enough room to breathe.
Al, when you have a moment, can you show how you place that pending order again?
Sure. You're going to right click on your chart, anywhere on the chart, just right click on the chart. And over here where it says trade, you have the drop down, and here it says new order. Left click on the new order, and it brings up the order box. There's probably another way of doing that. And you set your lot size. Set your lot size here. Make sure it says symbols. Make sure you're in the right symbol. Set your lot size. In this case, I set it to a 0.1. And then you come over here, down here where it says market execution. Well, we don't want to do a market execution. We're going to do a pending order. To the pending order, it brings up all these boxes. I set my stop, and we just set your stop in here. We had the stop set for 56.20. We'll just call it, set it for what you want. I put 56.246, I think is what I had. Take profit. My take profit area was, we'll say 57.821. So put in 57.821. That's your profit. And your buy limit. Now we wanted to be a buy stop because the price was below. We wanted to come up and trigger it to go up higher. That would be a buy stop. So put a buy stop in. If we were higher and we wanted to go lower, it would be a sell stop to keep on going. And then we put the buy stop in. We had it at 57.346. What is that? 57.346. And then you place the order. When it comes up and when it hits that stop, the buy stop, it fills the order to go long, to buy, and you're all in the trade. And so right now it's we had a little bit of a pause here, but here's the rally. Here's a little base, and we may have another rally again. Now, one thing, if you draw Fibonacci off of, I would kind of take it off of this strong move up. Here's the origin of the move. Now, to keep in mind, I'm on a 1 minute chart, so I would not base a Fibonacci on that, but you'll see it actually kind of works the same way. Put the Fibonacci on, so I go from here to here. And you can see that it had a 38% pullback. If it has a 38% pullback, here's your range. Here's where it broke out. And so your first target is going to be here. Well, we just got into the trade. We didn't even get into the trade at that point. But here's the second target. This would actually be the second target about the time where we got in. But if you can just keep every time it goes up and it pulls back, you have to raise your target, pulls back. Here's a new high. And as you see, the 38% is getting further and further down. So it could actually pull back down to here, which is right now where your arrow moving average is. So right now it's still in an uptrend. All the moving averages are in. We had the crossover of the moving averages. Now this is all in 1 minute chart. So keep that in mind that this is, on this chart, things happen really, really fast. But as long as this can stay above the 38% retracement from here, I'm just going to keep on moving this thing up. It pulls back. Here's the 38%. You see my 38% now is right at where my target is. And you can just sort of track it, trade it, and you can see right now we have a nice little trend. Here's a high, lower high, or higher low, higher high, higher low, nice big move, higher high. You can see this is an impulse move. This is reaction move. Impulse move, reaction move. Impulse move, reaction. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Now it's maybe getting to the end where it's going to start coming. We may get a 3-wave retracement back to this area, only for it to go and launch up even higher still. That's a little bit of Elliott wave type of stuff that we're talking with that. But that's another area of looking at trending and technical analysis. But you notice I didn't take the trade. I didn't start my Fibonacci all the way down here. I started it from where the breakout was. This was just very, very shallow. But here's where the launch was. Here's where the origin of the move was. You look for that strong rocket ship move up, look for a pullback, and then you're back in the trade. So right now, this thing's pulling back. It's pulled back probably about 20. Right now, it's about break even right now. If I was on a 1 minute chart when we took this, I probably could have gotten in maybe a little bit higher on this pullback at the break of this one rather than up here. But I was looking at the major trend line. Actually, there was a zone right there on the 5 minute. I think is why we didn't do that. We're on the 5-minute chart and see where the next target is. I'm not seeing it. Oh, it's all the way up here. This thing could go for quite a while. This thing could go all the way up to this 50, could go all the way up to this one. And here's the 38%. This would be the first target right here. Off of this move up until it comes. Right now, as long as as long as it's only retracing 38, less than 38% or within that 30%, I'm just gonna keep moving this thing up and wait for that stronger pullback and see if it just hits this target. This is the next impulse move. There's the 38%. That's right. You can see here's the impulse move, correction. Impulse move right up to the 38%. A little bit of a correction. See if it comes back to the zero again. If you have the Fibonacci here and it goes up to 38%, well, this would be a 38. The zero line now would be the 38% retracement of this up move. Just see if it keeps on marching its way up. If it breaks the top, if it can get a higher high with a higher low, once I get a close above this pivot right here, once I get a close above that off of this candle or the next candle up, then I can move my Fibonacci on up some more. And we have about 2 more minutes before the next session opens up over in the other room. Any last minute questions? Anybody have any quick questions or comments?
Josh was asking, how can the yen get so strong after the COVID death news? I don't know the answer to that one, to be honest.
I can't answer any of those questions like that. Who knows why everything does what it does? I have no idea. That's why I don't look at the fundamentals. I don't understand the fundamentals, so I don't even pay attention to them. My theory is that the charts will tell me what it's going to do before the fundamentals tell me what to do that I don't understand anyway. The price is usually, whenever you get an announcement, generally the price is already figured into the announcement, or they have the announcement geared to make the move that the big boys want it to go to. So just let the charts tell you the story, and you'll probably find out that you're going to be, it'll probably serve you well. So anyway, having said that, and just keep following this thing on up. Maybe if I get 10 pips or 20 pips, so basically right now I'm on a 0.1/10 of a lot size position. For every $10 move, this thing moves $1 on 1/10. If it moves $100 on the move for the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin moves in $100 increments pretty much. So for every $100 move, that's a $10 move with the 1/10 contract.
And Garvin, our apologies. There wasn't an alert for the Euro Aussie, so we didn't actually get a chance to have a look at it today. Our apologies for that.
So with that, it is 9 o'clock. Whoever's running the room at the other, I'm sure who's running the room today.
I have no idea.
But anyway, hopefully somebody is. If not, we will be back here again tomorrow at 7:30. And stay green, stay safe, and we'll see everybody then. Everybody have a good day. All right, thanks, CB.
All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.